When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years, so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We installed doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, peak the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets, fool?
That's a close encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, steady, bang.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all, peak the flow.
Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, steady, bang.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Running free. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman. Fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The children will grow. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the inline, so it'll come out to the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Play action, Stafford. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Lady!
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. That's complete into the hands of A.J. Derby. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
We play to win. Let's go!
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
From the end zone, Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he'll have the 1st down as he's up to about the 18. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Big version. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the 1st.
So the goal is at least a 1st down here, right? Pick up a 1st down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
20.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Being chased out left.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On 1st and 10, Newton. Open man is Trey Burton. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Freeman, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
From the 38, Newton. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Left side caught by Diggs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So possession goes over here on the punt. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
He's crossing. He's checking cross.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Now Newton on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On second down, it's Freeman. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
20.
Out of the gun, Newton. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
So the Broncos coming out now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield.
Oh, Chubb fumbled it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stanford. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a play fake here on first down. Hunter Henry brings it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford, and this complete to Henry over the middle. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And this is one of those bang-bang plays. Charles did the knee hit first.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
54, right there. 54, Mike. You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Third and 2, Stafford. The quick slant caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. Stafford down to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. He's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Ready, 8,
From the gun, Newton dancing to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it'll be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
51 the mic, 51 the mic. Go, go, go.
Throwing again. Newton flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
20.
Operating from the gun, Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. McKenzie now to return it. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where 5 quarters couldn't decide a winner. This one ends in a tie. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And that one's at halftime with the visiting Chiefs out on top. Marquise Lee, 2 touchdown catches in that first half alone. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've gone to the half in that one with the visiting Saints out on top. Cole Beasley, a touchdown catch in that first half. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DK Metcalf. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Stafford. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage are typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
From the 41, Newton. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Set. Right to the 3. Check. 8. Great. Second time, defense. Let's go. Check 4. Ready.
On first down, it's Newton. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. John Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Right there. Set. 180. 54 Mike. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Stafford. Henry's got it. Out on the left side.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Kenny Stills with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And that score there makes this a much more manageable deficit.
Agreed, because before that touchdown, this looked like this was about over. Instead, they've got hope. They're back in the game. They feel better about themselves, and now they have a chance to make some more plays.
That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Here's Newton. On the crossing route, complete. That's Burton. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, Freeman. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd and 9, Newton to the right side, complete to Taylor. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
It's a gain of 6, and it's third down.
The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Mike by 4, Mike by 4, Mike by 4. You can't block me. You can't block me. Shit.
Back to throw, Newton. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for, because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Great. Chase, 8. Switch.
Here's Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
20.
Running right, this is Freeman. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Devontae Freeman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
A gain there of 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. Now the return will stop right around the 25.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DK Metcalf. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking the 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to A touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go with Chubb on second down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, first down. Now Stafford.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 3rd and 2, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Running for it, here's Chubb. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Where they were on the field, kind of no man's land. Do you like the call?
I love the call. Almost had to go for it there, right, because of what you just described. Too far for the field goal, too short for the punt. You might punt in the end zone and just get a good field position.
And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he's able to find Diggs. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. From the red zone now, Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford caught right side. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Bears, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.